of Esports Arena, Amazon App Store, the NVIDIA Shield, because a lot of these guys playing on it. We have a few reps here as well. They're pretty awesome as well. Plantronics and Red Bull. A lot of Red Bull has been going around.
Yeah, so, ladies and gentlemen, with that out of the way, we're going to be jumping into the loading screen.
And
as you should be able to see on your screens, we're going to have Nemesis, Hydra on the blue side. They're going to be running Koshka with Hardek. They're going to be having that fortress that we talked about, and they're going to be having Ringo up in the lane.
And on the flip side, of course, we got Arden, Celeste, Rona. Rona did, of course, get a little bit of a nerf here in this latest patch 1.11, but at the same time, she is still a fearsome pick. And these guys bringing their best here into game number 3. Will it be co-eds and crew? Will it be Status Baked? He is kind of the rising star. Everybody's keeping their eye on him.
Well, Hardek and this guy on his Koshka, we heard about it from the analyst desk. He hasn't been allowed to have it, but this time they're going to get it. And the early aggression that they are known for can now be very easily facilitated with this Fortress Koshka combo. The biggest question is, how is Liberation X going to be able to deal with this pressure that we expect to see coming out from Nemesis Hydra? Already you can see the rotation coming in from Exhale. They're expecting this aggression to come out.
All right, so it's kind of fitting that we're in the NA finals, and of course, you know, the NA meta super early game comp of the Koshka and the Fortress finally does kind of get paired up. And as you said, I mean, a lot of people have been denied that Koshka. I think it is the most banned so far in a lot of games. Fortress is a very close second at that point. And look at this, no fear. They're going right into that jungle, and Liberation X is saying, all right, we just got to clear this front to back, and we just cannot take this at any point. But that being said, they are kind of tussling out there. Exhale's going to be covering that lane, but Dawn Eclipse, he's actually really low, and that's going to be the first blood right there as Hardek and Lost Boy do actually make this pay off. Status Bake, he's trying to return the damage on top of Hardek, but if we get one more Pouncey Fun, that is it, and that is a 2-0 early here for Nemesis.
So Nemesis Hydra, this was the early game aggression that we were talking about. They're running this Koshka Fortress composition. You should expect this to happen, and I don't know why Liberation X weren't prepared for it. They have this more of a scaling composition. The later this game goes, the better things are going to work out for them. And last game, they sort of did a good job of stalling out the game, making things work coming into the mid stages. But they are just falling to this early pressure from Nemesis Hydra. And if Nemesis Hydra can maintain this, if they can build up this early game lead, I don't know how they're going to be able to stop them.
Well, I mean, that is kind of the whole point of that early game. Looking at co-eds now as Status Bake jumps on top of him, the whole lane really coming out to try to keep down co-eds. You know, the Ringo this early on, and this is going to be a weapon Ringo by the end of it, if I had to bet any money. But at the same time, yeah, coming in and now already down 2-0. A lot of jungle's been taken away. That's why you got to put your luck there into that lane. Nemesis Hydra's off to a great start, but the big thing is now to continue on with that snowball. If they get stopped at any point, that early game might be for naught.
It certainly is the case. Right now, they are just picking up a couple defensive items. You can see very early on, Koshka actually picking up a reflex bot.
She's 2-0.
Already. So very trying to keep alive and remove as much crowd control as early on as possible, but it looks like Coeds is the focus.
Oh, Coed's actually looking to dodge out from the Heliogenesis. He gets the stutter step kill on top of the Arden. He doesn't live right through it after that, but the rest of the team nearly did make that save. And looking at a very grim 3v1, he actually is able to equal that out. And we've seen this before in this game series. Nemesis Hydra can really make the best of bad situations, and now Status Bake, he's just going to be kind of denied any aggression up against this early game power, because Hardek is just absolutely flying at this point. 31 creeps, 2-0-0. He has a lot of money under his belt.
So many resources have been invested into Hardek to make sure that he is the threat. He is the guy with all the gold, all of the major items. He looks like he's working towards that aftershock, which does make a lot of sense. Coming against this team composition, he's going to go for that early game damage. And the thing is, Status Bake only being level 4, playing this Rona, traditionally, he's been known as a very talented Rona player, but so far, things have not been working out for him. He needs to play a little bit more passively. He can't be looking for these fights. Hardek, though,
yeah, he's going to be a little bit of a target. We do got, again, a big aggression here early from Nemesis Hydra. It really is keeping Liberation X pretty much on their side of the jungle. It's basically actually keeping them right up against that turret as well. Hardek's going to get a little bit of poke in. That might actually be a tower shot. Doesn't actually look like it was in range, but Exhale is just continually getting poked down. If she's left to her own devices up against that Ringo, you just call for a gank, and she has nowhere to go.
Yeah, it's certainly the case. Right now, though, it does look like that both Nemesis Hydra going to try and pick up a very early gold mine. They're not going to get a massive gold payout off the back of that, but they will have control over it. Looking towards the 7-minute mark, or the 8-minute mark is where we'll see another point of contention. You'll see a lot of minion candies being picked up to try and maintain control. And speaking of control, Nemesis Hydra want to control this jungle.
Oh, did Toph actually steal that one out from Status Baked? That's a very good question, but again, Koshka coming in. Twirly Death able to pick up another one. Status Baked is just not going to be living through that. And, well, Dawn Eclipse might not either. We got some cooldown reduction already there on top of Hardek, and the Twirly Fun is just going to be enough. And, well, Twirly Death is probably the better name for it.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's doing so much damage
The
right
Yummy Catnip Frenzy under turret. She hit that level 6, and again, you put that Celeste in lane by herself. She has nowhere to go on a gank.
Wow, Hardek is doing so much work on this Koshka. The analyst desk were excited to see it, and you can understand why.
I felt a heart attack right there, let alone the player.
That sound that just came out of you, I don't. I was not expecting that.
Neither was anyone else. 5-1 for Nemesis Hydra, and a lot of vision now going their way. Not only do we have a lot of kills, but they've been putting down a ton of scout traps in and around the place. They've been keeping control of that jungle. As you said, the gold miner there, minion candies to be the situation there soon. They did give up a little bit of turret damage here. Hardek's got to be super careful. Red Mist comes out, but he has the movement speed to deny it. And now Coeds is going to come in. The stutter steps and those auto attacks are going to be hitting really hard. And you can see that Liberation X, they just can't make this one work. Hellfire Brew into the back. Exhale's going to burn to death on this, and Status Baked is getting shot down as well. Double kill for the Ringo, and now that's going to be the ace here at the 6-minute mark for Nemesis Hydra.
Coeds with the beautiful Hellfire Brew to swing that fight very heavily in their favor. Without the poke damage coming out from Exhale, there was no way for them to come out ahead in that fight due to the numbers advantage that Nemesis Hydra had. Hardek was then free to just jump onto the front line of Liberation X, just tore straight through them with the support of Lost Boy, and it was a nice, easy cleanup fight for them. They're going to pick themselves up an ace. They're going to continue to steal away the jungle of Liberation X. Nemesis Hydra using this early game lead perfectly.
All right, Lost Boy picks up himself that Shiver Steal, but at this point, 8-1 with something in... Wow, we're almost actually doubling the gold between these teams. 8,000 now achieved. We have more gold in the thousands than we have minutes in the game.
We certainly do, and look at these item spikes that have now been picked up. Aftershock is now completed for Hardek. Sorrowblade is completed for Coeds. Liberation X cannot afford to fight right now, given how far behind they are in terms of the itemization.
Man, if we had any kind of follow-up there from Lost Boy Toph, like if he was able to get that one hit for Hardek, it would have been a very different story for Dawn Eclipse, but unfortunately just not to be the case yet. But 8-1, as you said, Liberation X, they do not want to be fighting, but their only good bet would be under a turret. And unfortunately, this early on, you don't want to be relegated to just farming under turret. I have no idea where Status Baked is going.
Status Baked trying to go into the back. He wants to try and get some counter jungling off. I don't know if that's the best decision, though, with Nemesis Hydra sieging onto these turrets even.
He's coming back.
It does look like it. This is a dangerous spot to be in.
He's absolutely in a dangerous spot, but a little bit of translocation there. And under the turret again, that was their best option right there. I feel like that was a massive bait, but Ringo was able to take down the Rona, and the turret was able to give the kill to Arden, who then just watches Celeste burn down to that Hellfire. Dawn Eclipse versus Coeds. Coeds just going to go right behind it and get that ace. Turret or no, the regeneration should actually be enough, but as we say that, it's actually not the ace at all because Rona just came up. Oh, it was the ace at all. Cool. And Rona now for the defense, 11-3. I mean, she is just feeling real pressure.
This is the itemization power spike that I was talking about. Let's see if that item power spike can help Coeds right now, though.
Oh, Coeds, I think he has this. He is just stutter stepping to his heart's content. Status Baked with the red mist. That actually could be a big turnaround. He will get it. The red mist was a great idea at that point, and Coeds vastly underestimated the power of Arona.
Status Baked played that perfectly, going back and forth into the brush to deny vision from Coeds, forcing him to chase on into the warm embrace that is Status Baked and that red mist, turning that engagement around. Being able to pick up that kill is a great turnaround for Status Baked. I think he's going to be pretty happy with that, especially after not losing so much of his jungle. Very impressive stuff coming up.
I got to say, the scout traps is just absolutely disgusting on the screen right now.
It certainly
I count
is.
At least 7 just in that one area. We have flares for days, or at least we did there with our Fortress as well. Immense gold payout is going down. Kill or not from Status Baked, it is still a very dire situation for them.
This is Nemesis to the core, though. They are a hyper-aggressive team. This is what they are. known for, well, both these teams are known for being hyper-aggressive within North America. It's just Nemesis Hydra sticking to their roots and making it work for them.
That's going to be the stun on top of Excel into the back. Fortress now coming out. That's going to be a gauntlet. Status Baked is going to leap to his safety, but he could not say the same for Celeste. And now the slow stacking up on top of Dawn Eclipse, even under this turret. Again, it's going to be another 2-0 for Hydra. And tanking out these turrets, it's just all in a day's work for Hydra, as they are actually now more than doubling their opponents in the gold games.
Nemesis Hydra picked a composition that suits their style. They're executing it perfectly, and I just don't know why Liberation X decided to go for this more scathing style of play. They just seem uncomfortable on it. They don't know how to play with it. They definitely don't know how to play against this hyper-aggressive style that they're so used to playing themselves. A little bit taken back by somewhat of an underperformance coming out from Liberation X in this final game, considering that surprising performance in Game 2.
It's something to be said about those Koshka bans. I mean, again, I think she right now is the #1 ban. Fortress is a very close second or third when it comes to those priorities. But you put them together in a team that knows exactly what to do with them, and the results really speak for themselves. 13-4 on the back of a game that was determined by one auto attack. It really is a big 180 between these games.
It certainly is, and you've already talked about the vision. Look at it, they've even managed to invest vision deep down into Liberation's half of the map. There is just nothing that they can do. They're trying to pick up farm, but all of it has been taken away. They're going to pick up the minion mine to try and prevent this unrelenting siege that is coming out from Nemesis Hydra. They have to find some way of stalling this out, because they do have a composition that will scale for quite a while, but those infusions now have been picked up for Nemesis Hydra. They found Status Baked.
Oh, they absolutely did. That Shiver Steel coming out, the Warhorn. That's going to be it for Status Baked. He's not getting out of that one. The Solar Storm tickles the Nemesis Hydra team, and it's just not going to be enough. Excel is going to drop very quickly here with that Rona, and they're going to go right under these turrets for Dawn Eclipse. Might be a little bit too greedy at this point, but now minions coming in, and this is going to be some work on these turrets. One's already gone. Here goes the second. The damage from Hardegg is absolutely disgusting. And 6-1-4 again. Dawn Eclipse, he's going to, well, maybe throw out that gauntlet. It doesn't matter. Hardegg has got this game on lockdown. Coeds is there in the back with the auto tech, and Nemesis Hydra will take the game 3 and move on to winners that we will see tomorrow.
Nemesis Hydra just stacked to their roots. They knew